From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Afternoon Edition.
And right now in the Afternoon Edition, new details in a chase that ended with one man dead, 4 deputies injured in Santa Rosa. The Sonoma County Sheriff says the crime scene spans several locations, including the area of Stony Point Road between Bellevue Avenue and Todd Road. It all started just after midnight when officers got a call of a suspect brandishing a rifle. Authorities say when deputies arrived, the man led them on a chase.
He fled in a vehicle, starting a pursuit. Deputies pursued. He stopped. The suspect stopped, fired rounds at the deputies. They returned fire. The suspect got back in his vehicle and fled again. He fired additional shots. The suspect then later crashed.
The suspect died at the scene. 4 deputies were injured. 1 deputy sustained a head injury and is in critical but stable condition. Another was shot in the leg. 2 other officers had injuries to their hands. And Stony Point Road between south of Bellevue Road remains closed as authorities investigate the shootings. Well, good afternoon. I'm Ryan Yamamoto. Our other top story. Tomorrow is, of course, Super Tuesday, the busiest day of the primary campaign and a crucial moment for both President Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who are the overwhelming frontrunners for the Democratic and Republican presidential nominations. More than a third of delegates are now up for grabs tomorrow, with 15 states, including California and 1 U.S. territory holding their primary elections. And voting in California is already underway. People have been dropping off their ballots. Mail ballots must be postmarked by Tuesday to count. And the highest profile state race in California is the one to succeed the late Senator Dianne Feinstein. The crowded field of candidates include Democratic Representatives Adam Schiff, Katie Porter, Barbara Lee, and former baseball star and Republican Steve Garvey. A new UC Berkeley Institute of Governmental Studies poll shows Garvey is favored by 27% of likely voters. Schiff is at 25%, Porter 19%, and Lee received 8%. And the most consequential proposition on the state ballot is probably Proposition 1. Governor Gavin Newsom is in San Francisco today to get last-minute votes for that measure. This weekend, the governor was in Los Angeles County pushing the $6.3 billion bond measure. Prop 1 is a key part of the governor's plan to create drug and mental health treatment beds. It would massively overhaul how the state spends billions in the battle to end the homeless crisis, but critics claim it diverts billions away from already effective mental health services.
They're talking about housing and getting people housing, but the bulk of what's going in is going to be to build facilities to warehouse them, hospital beds. Hospital beds are not homes.
If Proposition 1 passes, it would make major changes. The California's Mental Health Services Act passed in 2004, which expanded and modified county mental health systems. In the race for president, a major ruling today by the nation's highest court, the Supreme Court ruled former President Donald Trump can stay on the Colorado ballot, and that states cannot use the 14th Amendment to disqualify him for running again for president.
I want to start by thanking the Supreme Court for its unanimous decision today. It was a very important decision.
Voters in Colorado and other states have sought to do that because of his conduct surrounding the January 6 attack on the U.S. Capitol. Skylar Henry reports from the Supreme Court.
The nation's highest court handed former President Donald Trump a unanimous victory, ruling that Colorado cannot keep him off the ballot for the 2024 presidential election.
The rationale here really is we don't want states to be able to do this.
At issue was a narrow Colorado Supreme Court decision in a case brought by voters, arguing Trump should be removed from the state's ballots because he committed insurrection on January 6th and was disqualified under Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which states, "No person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or elector of president and vice president or hold any office who took an oath and then engaged in insurrection."
Those who violated their oath to the Constitution once before will do it again, and even worse if they're allowed back into power.
But during oral arguments in early February, the justices seemed skeptical whether states can use the obscure constitutional provision to kick Trump off the ballot, rather than leaving it up to Congress.
The court didn't weigh in on whether January 6th was an insurrection or whether former President Trump engaged in it. The justices instead focused on the structural issue, whether courts can go out on their own and enforce this Civil War-era provision, and the unanimous answer was no, they cannot.
Without Congress helping us figure out who engaged in an insurrection, whether or not there's a problem, whether or not somebody has been found liable, guilty, whatever it is, it's not up to one state to do it. Congress needs to set the rules here.
The current GOP presidential frontrunner cheered the Supreme Court's decision.
You cannot take somebody out of a race. The voters can take the person out of the race very quickly, but a court shouldn't be doing that, and the Supreme Court saw that.
Trump still faces criminal cases surrounding the events of January 6th.
And former President Trump is claiming the criminal cases against him should be tossed because he has presidential immunity. The Supreme Court has agreed to hear arguments whether he does or does not have that immunity. CBS News Bay Area will have all the results from tomorrow's primary. We have complete coverage on air and streaming on KPIX.com and the CBS News app. Okay, turning to our first alert weather right now, some good news for drivers in the Sierra. Interstate 80 is now open over Donner Summit. Caltrans has been stopping travelers heading eastbound at Colfax since Friday night because of that massive snowstorm. The interstate is open to passenger vehicles only. Big rigs are still being held. And here in the Bay Area, we have a break in the rain after a wet and windy weekend, but the cold temperatures are going to stick around. Meteorologist Jessica Burke gives us a sneak peek at the forecast.
Over the weekend, the Sierra saw heavy snowfall totals, and back here in the Bay, we got our fair share of rain from the exact same cold front that moved its way in from offshore. Now, we got close to an inch near San Jose. We passed an inch from Thursday all the way until today in areas like Half Moon Bay and San Francisco, and we actually passed over 2 inches all the way up into Novato, where the Marin Headlands got hit with some of the heaviest rain we've seen so far. Now, as we take a look at the next couple days, today, tomorrow, lasting into our Wednesday forecast, we'll continue to see some unsettled weather. What does that mean? Well, really, if we look at Futurecast, just some light speckles of showers moving in at times with these dense clouds from offshore. Now, we'll continue to watch that be the case for us heading into our Tuesday forecast, mostly up in the North Bay and all the way into our Wednesday forecast too. Luckily, by Thursday and Friday, we start to clear up with sunshine right around the corner for us heading into this weekend's forecast.
Well, in Alameda County, the groups behind the recall effort against District Attorney Pamela Price submitted signatures to the county officials this morning. The group said they collected more than 110,000 signatures for the recall petition. Now the county registrar of voters has 10 days to validate those signatures. If everything checks out, the Board of Supervisors will schedule a special recall election.
We shouldn't have to do this, but for the safety of our community, the safety of our children, the safety of our businesses, this is something that had to be done.
The recall group says Price's progressive policies are part of the reason violent crime spiked in Oakland last year. A group of Price supporters accused the recall signatures gatherers of misleading people into signing and asked State Attorney General Rob Bonta to investigate. Recall groups have denied those allegations.